Friends, it's Collin here again. I'm over here at Stone Ridge Children's Center. Today we're going to be talking about our toddler literacy. So like, it's not always talking about like what the letters and that, or just like doing little stories. And well, because like right around this time, like it's starting to get colder. Like all the men are going out doing their hunting and that. So like when it gets cold like this, like we can't always spend like a lot of time outside. So like what a lot of people used to do a long time ago, they used to just like get in like their family groups, and they just tell different stories. So like, and well, especially like right now, we gotta really watch how big our groups are. So because we got this big sickness that's going around, so we always gotta make sure that we're safe. So this story today is called the Monster Bear. A long time ago, there was a Mohawk village of bark houses along the Oswego River. One day, the Detenatgwa'ta hunters, and like the stories too, like they all have this like same storyline, but people say they come from different areas. So this one was just from like a Mohawk area, I guess, like telling their version of it. The Mohawk hunters, they discovered the tracks of a giant bear. After that, they saw the tracks many times. Sometimes the tracks would circle all around their village, going around the outside. The animals began to disappear. So if it was like their pet dogs or like any animals they'd have, and like all the animals that they used to eat in the forest too, those were disappearing. And the Mohawks knew the giant bear was killing, then carrying off all the animals. Because of the scarcity of food, famine came to the Mohawks. So what famine is when there's not enough food for everyone to eat, and they start getting sickness because they don't have any nourishment in their bodies. So starvation was starting to come. So basically all their meat source. So they just have like a lot of just their vegetables that they stored. So one of the chiefs said, "We must kill this giant bear who is causing us all this trouble." At once there was a party of all the bravest warriors. They set out in search of the bear. They soon came across the tracks in the snow. They followed the bear tracks. So like long time ago, like around where we live now, there used to be like lot more animals, but like they started becoming scarce. So this was like a version of a black bear. Like there's different ones that are bigger bears, grizzlies. And as you can go further south, like the bears, they start getting a lot bigger. So like the Kodiak bears, like they're a lot bigger than that. And like the polar bears, those are those white bears. They're a lot bigger. They say they're like, if they were standing on their hind feet, then they'd be about 9 to 10 feet tall. So that's probably about as big as the ceiling in this room here. So they followed the bear tracks for many days. They finally came upon the huge beast. At once the arrows, they're filled with all the arrows, like all the warriors, they were shooting with their bows. To the surprise and dismay of all these Mohawk warriors, and the arrows pierced the thick hide of the bear. Many broken arrows fell from his tough skin. So they say like bears, they have really thick skin. So like some places you see they'll have like a bear skin rug, and because it's so thick. At last the angry bear turned and charged the hunters who fled, but were soon overtaken. Most of the hunters, they were killed. Only 2 hunters escaped, and they returned to the village to tell the sad tale. The 2 hunters told the council of that great bear. They told what happened to the war party. When a group goes out, that's what they call them. Like they call it a party, or hunting party, or war party. So party after party of the warriors set out to destroy the great bear, but they always failed. There were many battles fought between the bear and the warriors. Many warriors were slain. So that just basically says that the bear killed the hunters. As time went on, more and more of the deer vanished from the forest. The smoking racks were empty in the village. The people became very thin because of the lack of food. Starvation caused many to become sick. The people were filled with fear. Their hungry bodies crept close to the fire at night because, because when you have a little bit more like size, you can stay warm a lot longer. But they feared the great bear, whose giant tracks circled their village each night. They feared to leave the village because they could hear coming from the darkness of the forest the loud cough of the great bear. So there was one night there was three brothers. They all had a strange dream. So like they were sleeping, they all had the same dream on 3 successive nights. So that's like one, like doing math, like it's a sequence. So there's one night, one after the other. They had the same vision. They dreamed that they tracked and killed that giant bear. They said the dream must be true. So, getting their weapons and like a small supply of food, they set out after the bear. In a little while, they came upon the tracks of that giant bear. Quickly, they followed the trail, having their arrows ready. So if they see that bear, then they were ready to shoot. For many moons, they followed the tracks of the bear across that earth. The track led them to the end of the world. So, looking ahead, they saw that the giant bear leaped from the earth and jumped right up into the sky, up into the heavens. The 300 soon came to that same jumping off place. Then, without hesitation, those 3 hunters they followed that bear jumping into the sky. So there's that 1, 2, then that third guy. They all followed that bear. As like the bear was running off, they all jumped into the sky. They're in the skies, like even at night now. Like if you look up into the sky, you can see the different stars up in the sky. They call those constellations. So you can see like the bear there, then they say there's one there, then one way back here. It's like each year in the fall, like when it starts getting cold, it's almost time for winter. That's what then you can look up into that like a clear sky, and you can see what they call is like the Big Dipper in the sky. So that's what they always say is that it's those 3 hunters. They're still chasing that bear. They haven't caught it yet. So in the fall of the year, when the bear gets ready to sleep for the winter, the 3 hunters get near enough to shoot their arrows into their body. The dripping blood caused by the wounds from the arrows turns the leaves in the autumn. They start turning red first. Then the different stories in that, they say that when the leaves turn yellow, that's the fat that drips out of the bear, because so they can sleep all winter and they stay warm. The bears, under their skin, they have like a thick layer of fat. So that's what they say is that's when those hunters and their arrows, they pierce that skin, and that's what drips down. So when you look up into the sky at night, if it's a clear night, no clouds, then you can see that Big Dipper. So there's a bigger dipper, then there's a smaller dipper near it. So that's what they always say is that's those 3 hunters that are getting close to that bear, and it's usually when it starts getting cold. So this has been Collin and Yawa for listening to my story. Okay, we'll see you again.